Hello everybody, we have been practicing a number of MCQ, the multiple choice questions for semester 1 for the IAC students for a long time. So today we are going to, and we were doing it separately, one chapter at a time, so that you could practice and study one chapter, prepare for it, and then take the test. But now, as we have almost discussed all the topics other than the Tempest, few of it is left still. But what we are going to do today is we are going to do a mixed exercise, all right, so that you can prepare that way also, as your exam is going to be in the same way. So the questions that you will see today are from different chapters, different topics that is there for semester 1 for the ISC students. All right, so I hope you will be able to solve all of them. Best of luck, and let's see how much you can solve and how much you can answer correctly. All right, do write to me in the comment section, and if you are liking the videos, do hit the subscribe button also. Thank you so much. Let's start. So, model test paper, multiple choice questions, and your this is for the ISC students and SEM 1. So let's begin. Choose the correct option. You will get I was thinking about changing the format of the paper so that you get one question and you can get an idea of how the questions are going to come. If it comes in MS Forms or Google Forms, you will see the same pattern. You will just have a particular place where you can click and choose your correct option. Rest of it will be same as this. All right, so question number 1, there was a possibility of the man losing his toes because of, you know that this is from To Build a Fire. So there was a possibility of the man losing his toes. Why would the man lose his toes? What is the reason? No blood circulation, fire burning his flesh, frostbite, none of the above. No blood circulation, it is not that something is tied very tightly. It is the reason behind not being able to open the shoe is different. Because of frostbite, this will happen. If you see the picture and if you Google search it, you will see frostbite means maybe some place is wet and the tissues will start bursting. Okay, it will burst. So that kind of maybe what will happen is your hand is all frozen and you fall at some place and your hand can even break into pieces. That is kind of frostbite. So it is option 3. Coming to question number 2, the Chicago, somebody who is an amateur, somebody who is not professional. German socks were like sheets of iron, halfway to his. So that means, you remember, he broke through that ice skin and then he was completely wet. So what part of his body was wet? Was it up till the knees? Was it up till the waist, toes or ankles? Obviously option 1, knees. Next, coming to question number 3, what is the evening star in the poem Crossing the Bar? It is particularly mentioned, it is crossing the bar poem. So what is the evening star? This is a direct meaning. Okay, what is the evening star? What does the evening star actually mean? So is it Venus? Is it death? Is it old age? It is journey of the dead. See, the rest of the options 2, 3 and 4, this can be the symbolic meaning. But what is the exact meaning of the word evening star? It is Venus. So option number 1. It must be written directly that the symbolic meaning is being asked. Okay. Or according to the context, what does it mean? These words must be there. Otherwise, do not opt for any symbolic meaning. Okay, these kind of questions will come. Be rest assured that 2 to 3 questions from Birches or Crossing the Bar, you will have these questions which will mention symbolic meaning or will not mention symbolic meaning, and accordingly you have to say. Coming to question number 4. Which figure of speech is predominant in the poem Crossing the Bar? Predominant means throughout the poem you find the use of this particular figure of speech. From figure of speech, I remember, do follow my short videos where you will get an idea of the figures of speech. I've already posted personification, I've already posted oxymoron, so you'll get an idea of what these are, and keep writing to me examples of oxymoron, of personification. You will see I explain it and I also give some examples of that particular figure of speech. So you also keep trying to find out some examples like that from the particular poem that you have, or from any other poems or anything. You can write the examples down in the comment box so that I am aware and I can say that yes, that is right. Alright, let's move to the topic again. Which figure of speech is predominant in the poem Crossing the Bar? Is it personification? Is it metaphor? Is it oxymoron? Or is it simile? So see, predominant. Throughout Crossing the Bar, what do you find? Personification. There is personification, but it is not predominant. Throughout, it is metaphor. Why? Metaphor is a figure of speech. It is kind of a double meaning thing, okay, or one thing which is meaning like an allegorical meaning. There's another meaning also to it without using like or as. Metaphor. Oxymoron, opposite words side by side. There is no question of it. Personification is simile. Comparison is there, but unlike metaphor, so it is metaphor. Coming to question number 5. The poem The Darkling Thrush begins with the picture of, the poem begins with what is the mood of it? Is it lamentation? So here I have written in the brackets the meaning of the words, but you'll not get it. This is just for your help. I have written the meanings, but you'll not get it. So practice words also, or practice the MCQ questions that I give, so that you get an idea of what kind of words can come. The meaning of the words you must know, isn't it? So lamentation means passionate expression of grief. So one, joy obviously does not start with this mood. Joy is wrong, completely wrong. Hope and happiness, completely wrong. So option 1 and 4, despair and dejection, low spirits, I'm not very satisfied with whatever is happening around. So option 4 is correct. Why? You can ask me, option 1 can also be correct because it is lamentation, it is grief. But you see, somebody is not wailing and crying around that this is happening, that is happening. He is just very sad and depressed. There is a difference between the two, isn't it? I'm crying, nothing is good, and I am despairing that no, everything is over, there is no goodness that is going to happen. There's a difference, slight difference between the two. So option 4 is correct. Coming to question number 6. Thrush refers to a blackbird, small bird, ancient bird, songbird. Very easy. It cannot be a songbird. It does not sing very beautifully. It is not a beautiful bird. It does not look very beautiful. It is quite like a sparrow. It is a blackbird. We never get an idea of this. Ancient bird does not make any sense. So obviously it will be small bird. Coming to question number 7. Which musical instrument is mentioned in the poem The Darkling Thrush? It is written in the bracket Darkling Thrush. So what type of instrument is mentioned over here? Is it a harp? Is it carols? Is it a lyre? Is it a violin? Broken lyre. It was talking about broken strings of lyre. It was being compared to the trees without any leaves, the twigs and the branches of the trees without leaves, shriveled in extreme cold. So it is option 3. Coming to question number 8. Give the antonyms of frail, gaunt and small. So you have to give the antonyms, okay? I have to give the antonyms, that means the difference, the opposite, frail, gaunt and small. So it has to be frail, the opposite of it is strong, gaunt is thin, so opposite is fat, and small is big. So it will be option number 1. Coming to the next question number 9. Which word did Mrs. Mallard repeat several times? Is it kill, dream, free? None of these. Obviously, he repeated a number of times. Free. She realized that it was freedom that was coming to him. Alright. Last question for today, question 10. What is the meaning of the word elixir? Magic potion that can do wonders. Poison, potion that cures all diseases, potion that is difficult to obtain. This is for sure. It is magic word. First word that is obviously has to be true for elixir. It is magic. It is obviously a potion, a medicine kind of a thing. So potion is also correct for option 1, and it can do wonders. Okay, so it will be option number 1. I hope the others are also true, you see, but they are not the complete information. Poison is obviously wrong. But 3 and 4, these two, there is no magic word added to it. So it is wrong. Magic has to be there for elixir. So option number 1 is correct. So that's all for today. I hope this part is clear to you. You have been able to score a lot of marks over here. Do write to me how much you have scored. And if you have liked it, do hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.